Hello Nikke community. I've seen like a lot of like polarizing like opinions about like minigames, both for like Dave the Diver as well as the fishing minigame here for the event. I'm just giving like my 2 cents of like how I've been able to play the event without like killing myself and pulling my hair out. I use a PlayStation 4 controller and I'm using a program called DS4 Windows, and this has been working well for me so far. I even have like 2 profiles I set up for this. One to play the Dave the Diver collab game with the controller instead of using the keyboard and mouse, and one to actually like play the event map and move around. Also just using the controller as well. You can see here I actually mapped even the mouse cursor to both analog sticks. The right stick just moves it slower, the left stick just moves it a lot faster, and I made my square button like the click. To me, like playing all these mini games is just like much more natural on the controller than it would be on the keyboard and mouse. I would still play keyboard and mouse for the combat stuff, of course. It's just easier to aim with the mouse, obviously. But for all this stuff, though, I definitely would prefer playing this on the controller. I don't know. I'm just kind of controller kind of guy, so. I also mapped the spacebar to my X on my controller, so that way I can just hit that whenever. So I just leave it there, and then there, just hit X, and thankfully, like the spacebar is like used for a lot of things, and then it just I just use the D-pad here, and for me, like this just seems much more natural than using the keyboard, but I can understand if you like the keyboard better. It's just like how I've been playing it, and it works pretty well for me. Here's what the website looks like if you also would like to install it for yourself. There's DS4 Windows and DS5 Windows. I don't have much experience with the DS5 Windows thing. I assume it's basically about the same, just depends on your computer. I'm using DS4 Windows because that's just what I installed first, and I just downloaded just the basic stuff. Make sure you install like all the drivers, and I mean, like, I installed all of them. You probably don't need to install the optional stuff, but I did, and it works well enough for me. That's just what I did. And then as for the program itself, so I have one for Dave the Diver Collab, and one here for the event play. For the event play, I could show it here, like up, left, right, down for the D-pad. And then like for the stick, right here. So if I click right here, you can see here there's actually up, left, down, and right for the actual mouse movement, which is how you could actually put the analog stick to the mouse movements. So you could also just never touch the keyboard and mouse while you're playing minigames. It's really nice for me. And then of course for the square button, I just made that left click. It's really handy, honestly. I really like this, so maybe this will help out any of you guys watching. You might like this too. Here's the X. I just made that a space bar. Works out for me as well. As far as like moving the stick is concerned, moving the analog stick for the mouse cursor is concerned, there is a changed mouse sensitivity over here. So by default, that's like on 25. So this one, like I made 40. So like it's actually faster now, like a higher sensitivity. Whereas if I go to the right analog stick, see that's the default 25. So if I make it lower, it'll make it slower, and if I make it higher, it'll make it faster. And then just make sure you hit save, so that way it actually like saves everything. And then you just click on like what profile you want to use. So right now I'm on event play. I'll go to Dave the Diver. I'll show that off as well. I just want to show you guys that like this does actually work for me. So right now, like I'm using my mouse, or I could just take the controller and just move around and stuff like that. Yeah, like if I'm just like casually just decide I want to play the mini games, it works just fine. And then like I would just kind of just leave the cursor there, like at that spot, because that's where like where the fish button is. I hit square, And then now at this point, I just hit spacebar, which is the X on my color. X. X. And then just do this. Oop. It's slow because I'm using like the blue fishing rod. I think I remember reading like the red fishing rod's actually better for money. I just hit the blue one because it's easier for me. So with this, it's like you actually don't even need to actually move the cursor like to hit the button. You can actually hit off of it, so you can just keep it here in the same spot where the button is. So I hit square, it gets out of it, and like the cursor's still on the fish button. So now I can just fish again, and then like hit space and just keep doing it. I could just keep on doing it. So pretty easy for me. This feels more natural because I've always been like a controller console guy. So maybe for some of you, this also might feel better. Again, if you're like a PC player. If you're a mobile player, sorry, I can't help you. I play Nikke almost exclusively on the PC, so I don't really have any. I don't really have any advice for mobile players. So I'll go ahead and show the Dave the Diver part. So let's see, just here. It is a little awkward navigating the menus like this, but it works though. If I just like want to casually do stuff on Nikke, of course I'll use the mouse for most of this stuff. So if I go over to Dave the Diver part, so I'll go back to here. So right now, like I just named my profile Nikke Event Play, and I'll probably have to switch around the buttons again. Maybe like for the next event or whatever with a different kind of minigame. But for now, this is what I have it on. And then I made like an entirely separate profile for the Diver Collab. So with this, so I did map the right analog stick to the cursor, and then with the click, I also even made the click part a left mouse click, so I could push in here for the left mouse click, and I still left square as left mouse click as well. I'll show off how I aim with the mini games. And then triangle, that's tab, so that helps me like switch weapons. Circle C, X is space, square is left mouse button, like I said. L1 is left shift, which is like how you move faster. R1, right mouse button. I just copy buttons sometimes to different areas, just that way like I have options. And then L2 is Q, which is like to throw the food away when you're in the sushi bar. And then R2 is C. But I also made circle C too. Again, I'm just copying buttons, so that way I have like multiple buttons I could push, which is like your auxiliary item for the diving part. And for the analog stick, for the left analog stick, I actually made made it like a WASD for like the upper part. So as a W, you can see the W is highlighted. So W for the up, if I move up. If I move left, it'll be A. If I move down, it'll be S. D. I did the same thing for the D-pad. So WASD for the D-pad as well. And this works out pretty well for me. So right now, I just go change profile. I go to Nikke Dive Play, because that's what I named it. And then I'll go ahead and just click back in the game. And I'll hide the cursor. And as you can see, I'm moving now. I'm moving. I get space right there. And if I need to move the cursor to like exit out this, I can just do that. And then that works. Spacebar again. Upgrade firearm if I want to. Or whatever. Yeah, do that. So that works. Let me show off the diving part. So it says spacebar. I'll just hold X for this. So just like that. And then like I kind of like just keep the cursor like in the center of the screen right here. So I move around and like there's me holding like L1 for the left shift, so I can move around like that. If I hold R1, that gets me into the aiming mode. And then like I just do this with the right analog stick. And this basically plays just like the actual Dave the Diver on PC for me. Like this is extremely close to it. Because I did play like the game before like we got the event to get myself familiarized with the collab. I am surprised at like how one-to-one this is. So boop, aim, and there we go. And yeah, just It just feels super natural to me. It's kind of too bad that like Shift Up didn't put like native like controller support for like the PC client, because I'm using DS4 Windows because it's no native controller support, and this works pretty well for me. As you can see, I could just do this, and I could switch. Oh, let me sorry, let me go ahead and move the this. There we go. So you can see here, if I hit triangle, that gets me to switch weapons, and now I'm like in the gun thing. Boom, and he's dead. So as you can see, like that works out pretty well. Do a little bit more. See that grabs it. Move it back down here. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and just return back to the boat. Like, I basically just made the entire game just controller only at this point. You don't even hit the X up there. You can just hit off the screen. And I'll go over to the sushi bar. Hit X. For this part, you're probably better off using the mouse for this. So, menu. Just add to the menu and stuff. Like, I don't really... not really trying to maximize profits or anything like this. I'm just showing this for the video, like how I'm able to play. I mean, this part, I don't think anyone's complaining about this part, so if you want to use the keyboard for this, feel free to do so. I'm just showing that, like, I mapped everything to the controller, so, like, this kind of gives me, like, that arcade experience. This really does just feel, like, super, like, natural to me, just for me to, like, use the controller for a lot of these mini games. This is like the only part of the collab where like I'm actually using the mouse for this because it's best for me to like move and click, but everything else, like, yeah, I'm just using the controller for this. 33, 6, 9, 12, 14, 17, 24. Math is hard. 24, that's 30. And you can see here, just I could use the analog stick, or I could just use like do this. It's the space bar to like pick up the food, so I'll just hit the X button for that. Hit the X and just deliver food. Yeah, this feels just like I'm playing Day the Diver for Steam. Like, this feels basically identical. All without having to like touch the keyboard and mouse if I don't want to. This feels incredibly nice. Go ahead and just change that. I think I needed 3 more. There we go. I've kind of noticed that like once you hide the food servers, you can almost like let them like play on their own. You kind of don't even need to do anything if you don't want to. At least that's what I've noticed. They can almost like keep up by themselves. Yeah. And this actually also works for the M.O.G minigame too. So I will show that off as well, because I think I've also seen some people also wishing that you could play the M.O.G minigame with a controller, and not with the keyboard. Which I agree. I'm very much a controller person. So go ahead and just. Yeah, I'll go back to my mouse for this. So I'll go over to M.O.G. So for M.O.G, I once again have like another like profile for that. Nikke controller play, which is technically just the I copy and pasted default actually, and that works pretty well for me. I just made like another one just so that way I know what it is. So for controller play, up, down, left, right. So like this is just like for conversational stuff right here. The real part is the mouse movements, which is just like mouse up, mouse down, mouse left, whatever. Triangle is my B button. Circle is the V button. X is space. R1 is S. L1 is A. And that should be all that you need. That should be it. So make sure it's controller play. And just go ahead and just start a game here. I don't remember this. So wait. Hold on. Did I choose the wrong profile? Was it default? Oh, there we go. It was actually default. There we go. There it is. So as you can see, like, I'm just moving the analog stick and Snow White's moving. And then if I hit R1, or if I hit square. There we go. If I hit square, that's her shooting. If I hit the options button on my controller, oh, that's not the pause button. I forget what's my pause button at this point. Oh, what was that? Oh, that was triangle. That's triangle. I don't even remember what my own controller thing is. Okay, it's on default. What was that? Just in case you guys want to copy this. All right, so circle. Circle's the B button. Square is R. Triangle's escape. Oh, it's the escape key. I assume you guys might want to make the options the escape key too. Cross is space. Oh, it looks like I just left it on default. It really is just default. It's just left stick. When that's that's L3. Hold on. Oh, there it is. It's up. Oh, okay, yeah. So for the left stick, up is up, down is down, left is left, which is like the arrow keys. Up, down, left, right. Just in case you guys want to copy this. And this works definitely pretty well for me. I probably need to like redo my controller play thing because I made that specifically for M.O.G, and I must have like changed up my controls on accident. One, two, three. So for this one, I remember, like, just so that way, like, I don't have to use the mouse. I also kind of like put that on the buttons as well. You guys probably might want to just hit your keyboard for this, but for me, I like the option of like having everything mapped to the controller. So just because it's been a while, I'm gonna double check my thing. L1 is number 1, yeah. So L1 is number 1, R1 is number 3 because that's on the right side, and then the middle. What was number 2? Because I don't even remember. Oh, options number 2. Because my options in the middle. That works for me. I could if you want to, you could also like make the touchpad number 2 as well. Again, like this worked for me, and this functions pretty well for me. If you guys want to copy it, I don't think I've seen that many complaints about M.O.G, to be fair. But I have seen complaints about the fishy mini games, so just wanted to show the community like how I like really just kind of just play this. So this works for me. Maybe you guys want to copy it. Maybe you don't. Up to you. All right, guys. That's what I got for you. So if you guys also want to give that a try, feel free to do so.